Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Jungle Jerry here and Tiki 7-1. Today I'm going to give Sammy Davis Snoop Dogg here a new home and make a shrunken head display. It's going to be lighted, and I've got an old lantern. I say an old lantern, it's an LED candle lantern. Bought this at a place called Big Lots locally. You can also get them on Amazon. I'm going to have a link down below for everything that I'm going to do, but it's going to be a shrunken head display that's lighted, and I'm going to hang this guy in there. I'm going to try to. I've never done this before. The first thing I need to do is get this top off and the bottom. If you pick out a lantern, one of the things you can do is find one that's got the screws so that you can take the candle out. And then I've got a perimeter of screws as well. That way I can pull this entire bottom out and get in there and work. And so I'm going to do that now. And so now I've got the candle out, but I don't need it. Whew, it's dirty. Just adds to the ambiance. I'm going to take the candle out now, 3 more screws, and we'll have it out. Now I got a big hole in the bottom, and we'll set that off to the side, because now what I need to do is I want to reuse this. It's got a little hanger, and so what I'm going to try to do is drill a hole in it. That way I can feed my thin power cord through there. Hopefully it's thin enough. We shall see. Let's get this thing off now. Okay, that was easy enough. Just unscrew that bad boy. Now I got me a hole. And I need to see what we're working with here now. I like the flexible LED light. I've used it on the bottom of the tiki bar and out in my greenhouse. This one is powered. It's got a little controller right here. It's actually got a remote sensor right here. But the other cool thing about the LED lighting is this is actually cuttable. At any of these points on your LED light where you see the little copper, you can actually cut this with scissors, and so you can have any length you want of it. And it's got a adhesive backing, so I can form this around the top or the bottom of the display and have lights. In your main controller here, where your remote is, there's a little attachment here, and you'll notice at the beginning of your LED lights, you've got an attachment that'll actually go into that. So this controller is going to need to be in the top section up here. I can drop that down just a little bit so that I can get the sensor to read when I want to turn it off or on or change the colors. I'm going to guess that's about maybe 3 feet of black cord there. I don't need a whole lot to be able to go in here, but I do need to be able to get it in. And yeah, that's a problem. So we're going to hollow this out and come up with a new hook for it. There is more than one way to skin a mule. So I'm going to match up a drill bit to the proper thickness here. So let's wallow her out. Custom fit. I hope. There we go. Now I just need to feed it through here. I'm going to pull this thing all the way out so that it's easy to work with. The next thing I need to do is hook up the power point here. We'll draw that back up in here all the way. I got some mounting tape. I think we're going to use this. What I'm going to do is pull more cord out, and then I'm going to fold this thing back in so that it's resting right in the top like so with that tape. And so when I get done, I'm going to have some extra black cord sticking out, but that won't be as bad, but it's going to rest in there like that. That's the plan now. Press this Gorilla tape on here now. Press and hold for about 30 seconds. I got a backup way to make sure this thing doesn't go anywhere that I'm going to apply. I've also got some real thin metal wire. If it gets too hot and the glue comes loose, that'll be a backup to hold it. All right. Got that, we'll plug back in and see what we can do here. I have it somewhat affixed right there, and now I'm going to fix it the rest of the way with that stuff there. This kind of annealed steel wire, I'm just going to work it back and forth. It's going to heat it up, and it's going to snap. There, just like that. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run it on the inside, right there, run it on the other side here. I want the twist part to be on the inside, so that the only thing you see on the outside is one little line, and I'm going to hang this from the ceiling. So if I hang it right, you'll never see the line. There. And as I work to twist this thing, it's going to get tighter and tighter on it. I've taken the overhang of wire, wrapped it around it, and so instead of flopping all over the place now, it gives it some stiffness, so I can kind of hide it up in the upper section here. I'll still be able to reach it, and from an angle with this paddle here, I'll be able to turn it off and on, change the lights and all that, but it's not going to be dangling all ugly like. What I need to do now is hook on to my LED lighting. I'm going to actually roll off much more than I need, and then I'll cut it down. That way I have plenty to go inside here. We'll trim it down here in just a bit. But I'm going to get plenty off, and that is more than enough right there. So I'm going to go to one of these little copper connections here and take some scissors and just give it a cut. So now I just got to make the connection in here. This is where having another hand, I need a midget hand. Come here, Sammy Davis. Man, I can't help you. I ain't got no hands. There we go. We're in. We are in. Yay. So now, what I need to do is I'm going to take this extra piece of wire that I used to secure that, and I'm going to get this wire hooked around it so that I can keep it up and out of the way. Now I need to figure out exactly how much of this I need. Do a dry fit here all the way around. If I have a little excess, that's fine. I can layer it on there. If I don't, well, I'm going to come up short. All right, so I think I need to be right about there on my length. So I'm going to go to the next strip right there, and I'm going to cut it right there. I need to peel this stuff off and get to applying it. I'm going to do a little bit at a time so it don't go sticking to the side of the glass here. You know, before I get to sticking this thing on, I need to make sure my prongs are in the right position, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing in. Well, I'm glad I did that. I'm still plugged in there. I may need to reverse that then. It looks to me like it's not working like that. So let's flip it around. Try it now. Before you go sticking this stuff on, make sure your connection is plugged in right, because now it is. Ooh. Ah. Blood red. Green. Blue. And so here's the down and dirty of it right there. I've got it all adhered and stuck. Let's plug her back in now and see what it looks like now. There we go. This will kind of give us an idea too. Yeah, this is going to work. We're going to make it work. That looks pretty cool. All right, on to the next part. Okay, so I just came up with a little idea here as far as how I can hang this thing. I've got some really good thin rope here. It's some hand wrap stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a knot underneath here. Big knot that's bigger than the hole there. And that's going to act as the support for all of this. I'm going to wrap this cord all the way up so that the black cord is hidden, and the knot itself is going to support this in all of its weight. Okay, so I've got my rope done. I actually cut the rope that I had in here down a little bit because what I decided to do was use some more of that wire, and I've tied off on the little piece of rope here to this wire, and I'm just going to feed it back up through, and then I will snip it after I twist it off there. So now I just have to do that. And we'll get Sammy Davis Jr. Snoop Dogg put to bed here. One other thing that I am going to do is I tied up his hair here, kind of give it that shrunken Ned look. I'm going to do one more right here to kind of hide the wiring, and I'm just going to use a black twist tie on there, and then I will cut it down. This is actually not going to be visible, but it's going to keep it up and out of the way. It's what all the finer shrunken heads are wearing this year from Paris, I hear. I pulled off much more wire than I actually need, because I'd rather work with it on top on the outside than have to fight it on the inside. So now I've got a little bit of a path there, and it should just come right on up, and then I can get my hands out of the way and we'll feed her the rest of the way. I'm gonna lift this on the table here. We can bring him on up. I want this wire here that we dealt with earlier in the back. So I'm going to rotate his head until I get him right where I want him. I want him right about there. This first one around to the left 2 times. I'm going to wrap this one around to the right 2 times. We're going to give it the old twisty. Tuck it in, and we're going to call that good right there. Let's see what we got now. I think we need to light him up now, don't you? What about purple? Green? We'll go with blood red for now, though. I don't think he has any blood anymore, but all right. Now I got to make another decision. Do I want to put something in the bottom of this and reattach it, or well, you've got a lot of hair hanging out here too. See that?
I like it.
I could just leave it open, couldn't I?
Yep.
If I put that in the bottom, I got that going on. If I leave it like that, birds aren't going to have a little place to get up in there, or I could just leave it like that, I guess. Shrunken Jed, because we're in Arkansas. I'm going to go hang him up, and I will show you what he looks like tonight when the sun goes down. I get an idea in my head, and then I just figure out what I need to do to make it work. That's how I do this stuff when I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, but I think that's going to do. That's pretty cool. There you go. All right. I've got it plugged into the same strip that actually powers my ceiling lights and the back bar lights. So let's turn it on. The camera is really not doing this justice. It looks really good. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and it was helpful to you, especially if you have a tiki bar, or, you know, Halloween's always coming up, so you might be able to use it in your Halloween decorations, your tiki bar, just whatever. But I do want to thank you for watching. We appreciate it when you subscribe, hit like, comment, and all of the usual YouTube stuff. We do appreciate it. I definitely like how it improved the vibe of the tiki bar. Guys, until next time, Akule Maluna, and thanks for watching.